you moved. And now you're thinking, how on earth do I find like-minded Catholics in this new town that I am not familiar with? I'm so lonely. I got you covered. And huge thanks to Veronica over on Patreon for suggesting this week's video topic. Let's get into it. Moving is stressful.
Where's the lamb sauce?
I should know. My husband and I literally just did it. It was awful, but now we're settled in and we're doing well, but it was rough there for a couple of weeks. I think it's also just really hard to be in a new city with new people and new rules and new traditions. And for example, things that we did in Chicago, you just don't do here.
What the heck is that?
Broccoli on pizza.
It's just kind of like you trying to figure out where you fit in, where you don't fit in. It's all quite overwhelming in a lot of ways. So I want to explore where you can meet like-minded Catholics in case you recently moved and you're a college student, you're a young adult, you're not a young adult, you're an adult. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Maybe you're a teenager even. But I want to help you try and find other like-minded Catholics. And if you guys want to be a part of an awesome behind-the-scenes community, you guys can check out my Patreon. On my Patreon, you will get full versions of videos, including this one, ad-free and censor-free content, along with other perks. If you want to help financially support the ministry, but you don't want to become a Patreon, you guys can make a one-time donation on my website at thereligioushippie.com. Also my donation center if you want to get an item for a donation. If you're unable to donate, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you'll know when I upload content. Now let's explore where you guys can find like-minded Catholics, because it's not always easy to find them. First place I'm going to suggest you guys look is obviously your local church. Depending on where you land, check out all the different churches that are in reasonable distance of you. There are also probably some traditional Latin Mass parishes around, and they usually have some really great young adult groups or at least church events that you can attend and get to know the community there. So check out TLM Finder to kind of just help you find the traditional Latin Mass parishes in your area, if there are any. A lot of churches have social events and retreats and conferences and barbecues and picnics and things of that nature to help grow their community, so make sure you're looking out for their bulletin on their website of these different churches to know when they're doing these types of events, and you can go and introduce yourself. So even though that seems like a really obvious suggestion, just Google all the parishes closest to you and see if they have a soup kitchen or something like that. Also, just introduce yourself to people after Mass. Introduce yourself to the priest, tell them that you're new, and just try and immerse yourself in the community. I will say that there are some communities out there who are not very welcoming of outsiders. Please don't let these people discourage you. Unfortunately, this is found in a lot of parishes. There's always that one group that's a clique, or the entire parish is just a little cliquey in general. I'm personally not a huge fan of those types of parishes, but it's usually not the entire parish, and do not let that discourage you. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself to the priest and to anyone around, and just tell them you're new, and hopefully they will be nice and not cliquey. The next thing I'm going to suggest is Newman Centers and pro-life events. Check out your local Newman Center if you're on a non-Catholic campus, or your Catholic center if you are on a Catholic campus. Almost every single college I can think of has a Newman Center or a Catholic center. Even if you don't go to that college, you're more than likely still welcome to go to the Newman Center or to the Catholic center. Also, pro-life groups, conferences, events, anything like that is going to be packed with Catholics. There are now tons and tons of pro-life organizations and groups, so there are bound to be some where you are. You can try out Students for Life. Live Action has some opportunities as well, or even Pro-Life Action League. That is a huge one too. Just Google some pro-life organizations in the area you are, and you're bound to find some Catholics. I've talked quite a bit about time management on this channel. If you're really busy like I am and you need a way to stay on top of all things, including all things spiritual, check out my friends at Blessed Is She. Blessed Is She creates all kinds of resources and products to foster a community of women focused on beauty, be it in the Eucharist, God's Word, or in the lives of each member of the community. On their website, you can find everything from scriptural meditations, planners, devotionals, and so much more. And fear not, my male audience, because Blessed Is She also has something for you, including jewelry, rosaries, and manly musk candles. Follow my link in the description to get 15% off your next order, or use my promo code AMBER10 at checkout and get 10% off your order. That's AMBER10 for 10% off, or follow the link in the description below for 15% off. All right, back to the video. I interrupt to show you guys my bee mug. Do you guys like my bee mug? If you guys don't like my bee mug, don't say anything because I'm sensitive. I'm just kidding. No, but for real, don't diss the bee mug.
It feels good to be a gangster.
Bug, if you will. Anyways, moving on, I don't know what number we're on, but the next thing I'm going to suggest is Bible studies and Catholic study groups. Now, sometimes your parish will have these, but sometimes these are ran by individuals in their homes, out of basements, at the church itself, but not necessarily like affiliated with the church. You might be able to find these groups on Facebook if you check out local like Bible study Catholic groups. Make sure it's a Catholic Bible study group, but definitely check out if your location has a theology on tap. Most locations do. It's really great. It's where you get together with other Catholics and they have a speaker and you guys get to talk about theology and philosophy and things like that. It's usually free or it's for like a very low cost, maybe like $5 to get in. You guys can have beer or you guys can have a drink or something while you listen to the speaker, have a discussion with somebody, and you learn something. It's great. I also just highly suggest you ask around the churches you're going to for information about groups or conferences or events where you might be able to find more Catholics your age. A lot of the time, the parish is aware of other people or groups or organizations that put these things on, and they would be able to give you an idea or a list of people who you could reach out to get more information and to get more like-minded friends. Next thing I'm going to suggest is to join choir or to do some sort of volunteer work around the church. If you're musically inclined, consider joining your church's choir. I know plenty of people who have met so many amazing like-minded friends through choir or doing service work for the church, like gardening or cleaning or cooking. Most churches have a group that takes care of those types of things to help out the priest. So see if there's anyone your age doing that and see if you can get involved that way. I want to also preface that this isn't just for young adults. I know that a lot of the stuff I'm suggesting is for, or it sounds like it's for young adults, but keep in mind that this is also for people who go past the young adult age. And like I said, remember that there are usually a lot of events going on in parishes, so make sure that you are staying up to date on the bulletins and the information that these churches are putting out so you can know when these events are happening. I also want to say that sometimes the only thing stopping us from meeting other people and creating these wonderful friendships is ourselves. If you want Catholic friends, you can't just hole up in your apartment and expect God to drop them on your lap. You actually have to pull your weight here. And the reason I bring this up is because I've had people email me saying they want Catholic friends, but they don't want to put in the work or do what it takes to actually get Catholic friends, which means introducing yourself to people, going to events, being pleasant and approachable. They don't want to do that stuff. And do I blame COVID? Yes, to an extent I do, but at the same time, we're all adults. Sort of, well, okay, not all of us are probably adults, but the majority of us are old enough to work on ourselves and to make sure that we are not using these things as an excuse just because we don't want to be uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, we are wired for human connection. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, and I will talk to you guys next time. A huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon for making this video happen. I could not do this work without you. I would specifically like to thank Jude Crew Plus, along with Jay Usadi, Sabrina, James Bell, Father Carr, George Gregory, Winona Dubrova, Oliver Waite, Andrew Płowski, Alex R., James, Michael, Paul Donovan, Christopher Woodside, Michael Martin, Kevin Ashbrook, DJ Hawk, Jason, and Cody. Thank you so much. I could not do this work without your guys' financial support. It truly does take a lot to keep this ministry running, and I am doing everything I possibly can to do that, and your guys' support helps me so much more, so thank you. And with all of that being said, truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!